Hey beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I am Maria, aka agapelovegirl. Thank you so much for joining me today. But today I'm here to share with you my top 10 favorite products from IT Cosmetics. Now I know the idea for this type of video isn't anything new certainly, but I was inspired to create this video by my friend Katie from My Vanity here on YouTube. She also has a really wonderful blog, and she recently did a video like this sharing her top 5 favorite products from IT Cosmetics. And I was really inspired by her because I was like, oh my gosh, I have a lot of favorites from IT Cosmetics. And I was actually surprised that we had different favorites. There are a couple products here and there that are the same, but I was surprised by hearing some of her favorites and thinking on mine, and like, wow, I actually have several other favorites that are different than hers. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and share my favorites. And I also like the idea for this type of video just in general for any brand, just your favorite products from a brand. So if you would like to see more of these type of videos, I do believe that Katie said she was gonna do a few more of these videos of different brands, and I love the idea, so I am gonna copycat her. So if you would like to see me do this with other brands, let me know what brands you want to see me share my favorites of. And I'll try to narrow it down to 5. With this one, I have so much from IT Cosmetics and so many favorites from them, but I definitely have products that I don't like as well. I can do that in a different video or maybe mention them another time if you were interested in that. But I did narrow it down to 10, and really it's kind of like 5 that are my top favorites, and the other 5s are kind of like favorites because I use them so much and really do love them, but they're more like honorable mentions. And what I'm going to do is kind of pair them together because some of them are similar items, so I'll kind of pair them together with my top favorite and then the honorable mention. The honorable mention is still like a favorite of mine, but I just feel like the one I'll mention first is like my favorite, like I love. So enough of my rambling, let's go ahead and get into it. Now the first item I'm going to mention is a skincare item, and I don't know if that should be any surprise to you guys because I love skincare. I love trying new skincare products. One of the main reasons I love IT Cosmetics is because they're a brand that is like it's like a skincare brand that is makeup. It's like all of their line, if you're familiar with IT Cosmetics or if you're not, is, you know, usually anti-aging, has skin benefiting properties, just the ingredients are made for like skincare, but it's makeup. And so that's one thing that I fell in love with IT Cosmetics for, aside from just they have such quality products. So the first item is a skincare item, and this is the Bye Bye Lines Serum, and it's advanced anti-aging wrinkle smoothing miracle concentrate, and I have like about this left. I've been using it so sparingly lately because actually for a while I just stopped using it because I was like, I need to buy more. I'm not going to use it till I buy more, but I've kind of gotten back into using it and I'm like, I need to just buy more. I did receive this one in PR and I've had it for quite a long time, but I just, like I said, I've been trying to, you know, stretch the use of it before I can buy some more, but I absolutely love this. They do have a few other like serums that are like in this same kind of bottle. I have never tried any other ones before. This is the only one I've tried from them, but I love this. I usually use it before I apply makeup or even at night in my skincare routine, but it actually, I feel like, works nicely as, I don't want to say primer as in the fact that it'll make your makeup last longer, but just for priming and prepping your skin, it just does something. When you put it on, it feels like, it makes your skin, it makes my skin feel like silk. I swear, I put it on and my face just instantly feels softer, smoother, more plump. I love this. And I know when I was using it religiously, like every day, twice a day, I noticed a difference in my skin. Like I said, I stopped using this for a bit just because I was like, I'm almost out, I need to buy more, so I wanted to use it more sparingly, but I love it. So that is one of my favorites, and so this again is in the top 10, but this is more like an honorable mention. So I would say this is in the top 5, this to the top 10, this is the honorable mention. And this one, if you guys remember the video that I did when I got this, you might laugh at me, but let me just say this. Okay, this is the Bye Bye Makeup 3-in-1 Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm. My first impressions on this were not good, and I don't mean that they weren't good because I thought this was a bad product. Like I even said, it sounds like a great product, it seems like a nice product, it smells good, it feels nice. I had used it I think once before I did that like first impressions review of it, and I was just, it wasn't that I thought it was a bad product. What the thing was, I just wasn't impressed by an expensive makeup removing product. At that time in my life, I wasn't super into makeup removing products. I usually use, and I still do, use my like makeup eraser cloth to remove my makeup, and I find that just easiest without having to buy product. You just use water with it. So I'm just like, I don't like the idea of having to buy an expensive makeup removing product. So that's the only reason why it kind of, I gave it like I wasn't impressed by it. But since I had it, of course I was gonna use it, and I started realizing that like, I love this stuff. It just truly makes makeup removal so quick and easy. Like, you know, I wear a lot of glitter, do false lashes, and you get the glue stuck in there, and while like it never really fazed me or whatever using my makeup eraser cloth, this just like melts it away. And the other thing is like, and I wrote notes about it so I didn't butcher this up, what I feel like makes this different from, I'm just gonna kind of read because I just need to, different and better than other makeup removing balms is that it doesn't stay thick or pasty or gooey. So I've tried other makeup removers that are like more like balms, you know, and they're really thick, and like you put them on your eyes and they're just like a thick pasty like something, and then you have to wipe it away with like a makeup wipe or something, and like they're great, they do the job, but like I'm like, not impressed by it. This is not like that. This literally is like a thick kind of cream. It's almost gone, literally. I've used this. Is again another item that I was almost out of, and I was like, oh, I don't want to run out of it because it's expensive. And I was like, so I would only use it on the days I really glammed up my face and wore glitter and things like that. So I've been able to stretch this about 2 years, even though the expiration date is a year on it. So don't do what I do, but that's what I've done. And I'm almost out of it. I think I was saying it's a cream, but as soon as it hits your skin, it melts in almost like an oil. And if you use like oils for makeup remover, like coconut oil, which I compared it to in my first video on this, those work really well and they feel really nice on the skin. But here's also what I wrote down why it's better. So I said, I compared it to a coconut oil because it does melt and become oil-like when you use it and removes makeup the way an oil would, which I think oil removes makeup the best, personally. But this is better because it will actually rinse off with water, whereas an oil leaves you with residue that is kind of greasy feeling and harder to remove unless you actually go in with like a makeup wipe or a cleanser or soap and water kind of a thing. This is something that it turns like oil-like and removes makeup like an oil would, but it wipes away clean without having that oily residue on your fingers or on your face. And so it's just, I love it. So it's an honorable mention, and I laugh at myself because I think back to that first initial review I did it and I was like, I'm not that impressed by it, but clearly I'm very impressed by it. Not to mention it also has like hyaluronic acid in it. It says it's skin softening serum concentrate, so it's got all these good ingredients for it. Of course, It Cosmetics always puts great ingredients in it, so it does leave your skin feeling soft. Like sometimes I'll take off my makeup with this and I feel like I don't even want to do anything else to my skin because this is like enough. Like it leaves my skin feeling amazing. So honorable mention, I really love that stuff. Okay, the next item is actually several items, and they're not necessarily honorable mentions of each other. It's just, I'm gonna put this line in general, and I'm gonna have a lot to say about it, so hopefully this isn't too long, but it is the Brow Power products. I just wanted to show you that I have multiple. I've actually purchased 3 or 4 of these since I first discovered this product. This is actually the very first product that I ever used for my brows. Back in the day, let me think, 4 years now ago, before I really did anything with my brows. Like I literally did nothing with my brows. I had like a line of hairs for my eyebrows and I didn't fill them in, I didn't do anything. But then I got to a point where I was trying to fill them in, grow them back out, and never thought to actually use product in my hair, in my brows. But I made an order for the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye concealer because I heard it was really amazing, and I hadn't really heard much about It Cosmetics at this time, but I ordered it because I was really curious about it because I have such bad dark circles. And it was at a time when I guess they were sending out a free like sample product. No, so it was like a deluxe size sample of this, which is this size, and it's a good sample size. for free with whatever order. And I didn't realize that. I actually thought they like sent me the wrong order or something like that. Like I was getting something I wasn't supposed to, but anyways, it was just a freebie. So I was like, okay, I have it. I might as well try it and use it. And I ended up really falling in love with it. I like that it is this, universal taupe. I know not everybody likes those universal taupe shades because they're not necessarily universal, but I feel like for me, like the color is like a perfect match for me. And I feel like you can go a little bit lighter, you probably can go a little bit darker, but essentially this is the color it is. I'm actually using the powder version in my eyebrows today. And if you look, it's like the exact same color as my hair, so it's perfect. But anyways, I fell in love with this pencil. I like that the shape of it is like, it's not a circle and it's not too thin, but it's not too thick. It's a thicker pencil, but it's not like super, super thick. And the shape of it is more like, an oval rather than a circle. So I felt like, I don't know, I just really like the shape of it. This one's actually all gone. I just brought it out. This is the last of it there. I just brought it to show you that I've gone through this, but this is like the 4th one I've gotten, and then I just recently got this one, which is a full size. And we actually got another one, funny enough, in our BoxyCharm box recently. So I love the Brow Power Pencil. That was my go-to for the longest time until I started switching it up and trying new products after I really got into my brows. But that would always be one I would go back to and repurchase on my own money. Well, continuing on, I recently got some more, and these are kind of more brand new this year, or maybe the end of last year to It Cosmetics, and this is the Brow Power Powder. It looks like this, and then the Brow Power Pomade, which is just like a brow gel. And I did a first impressions on these as well in a video that is very, very long. It's about an hour long, so it didn't get as many views because I think people just don't have the time to sit through that, and I completely understand, but these were more towards the end of it, so I don't know how many people saw my review on it. And my first impressions were, they were okay. It wasn't that I didn't like the product, because I do, and these have been my go-to lately, like, and this, especially this pomade brow gel, is like, I will be repurchasing this when it's out. It has become my favorite. But anyways, the problem is, and you can see I've already hit pan, is that it's such a like a soft powder that when you dip your brush into it, even if you're gentle, you get so much kick up, like beyond think Anastasia Subculture, beyond even that, like you barely touch into it. And I've had this or been using this, I can't even remember now how long, but not very long, and I've already hit pan on it. And that was one thing I said, is that like I think this is a fabulous powder and I love the way it looks, but it's just, you're gonna get so much kick up that I felt like at the time, and I still feel like this, I don't feel like it's a product that I would majorly recommend just because of that, or at least I would recommend with that warning, because I love this. I will be wanting to repurchase this when I run out, but it does make me sad that I'm probably going to run out a lot sooner than I probably would with any other brow product, because who goes through brow powder this fast? No one does. But because it's so soft, again, like I said, you get so much kick up that you can't use, and it just goes to waste. So that makes me really sad. But at the same time, the reason I fell in love with it is because any other brow product, powder, pencil, whatever it may be, except for like the pomades, the like gels in a jar kind of a thing, except for those, will rub away from my skin. Let me see if I could try to make this make sense. So I do have kind of a bald patch right here in my eyebrows. That's why a lot of the times the inner part of my brows on this side at least will look a lot lighter than the rest, because the rest is being filled in and has hair there, and this part doesn't. So a lot of other products will eventually throughout the day fade in that area and fade off of my skin. It'll stay on my hairs, but it fades off of my skin, so I'm still left with that kind of bald patch there, which drives me insane. It's a very small bald patch, but it's there and I notice it. And one thing I noticed at the end of the night after trying this for the first time when I filmed that video was that the powder was still there. My brows still looked just as good as they did when I first applied it, and that blew me away. This has such staying power that I just love it, and it's so easy to use. It goes on, and it's so, because it's so soft and creamy, that's a bad side of it, but a good side of it. It just goes on so amazingly on the brows, and I just think it looks good. Like, if you look at my brows right now, at least in my opinion, I feel like they look amazing. I love when I wear this. It's just, It's so good. It's like one of those things like I really, really would recommend, but there is a caution to go with it. And then the brow pomade, which looks like this. It's like I said, a brow gel. I really love that it is a smaller kind of brush rather than most brow gels are like almost mascara size. And this one's just very, very precise and small. And I really, really like that. You do have to be careful to make sure you wipe off some of the excess because it can get a little bit gloopy if you're not careful. That's one thing I mentioned in my first impressions video. But that was again another thing. At the end of the night, my brow hairs were like perfectly in place. They weren't too stiff and crunchy, but they do stay in place. I don't like a brow gel that's so soft when you put it on that like if you put a shirt on or touch your brows, the hairs get out of place. Like what's the point of a brow gel if your hair is going to get out of place and get messed up? This doesn't do that. They stay in place and it looks amazing. So I know that was 3 products in one mention, but I'm just gonna say like my favorite, it's just the Brow Power products. I love them. Really, really recommend them with the disclaimer on the powder. So I know that was long, so let's go ahead and move along. Okay, the next product that is a favorite of mine is the Anti-Aging Armor Super Smart Skin Perfecting Beauty Fluid plus SPF 50 broad spectrum physical sunscreen. And this is not necessarily a foundation, but it's kind of like a foundation. It's a beauty fluid. And I fell in love with this and used it almost every day in the summer. I still have a little bit left. I'm probably like about to here, so it lasts quite a long time. Now this is an interesting product. It's like I said, it's not necessarily a foundation, but I use it as a foundation, and it's something that like it's kind of gotten colored now that I've used it so much and shaken it up so much. But when I first use it, when you squeeze it out, it's almost kind of like a white or very, very light color, and it's the shade. I believe it's like supposed to be like translucent something or universal translucent or something like that. It's not translucent. Basically the idea behind it is that when you put it on, it like color matches to your skin, and I found that to be an interesting concept because I don't know if that's true. Like, does this really color match and work for every skin tone? I'm not sure. I felt like for me, I'm fairly light, but I can get pretty tan in the summer, which is when I use this the most. And I felt like it was a good match for me, but I couldn't imagine it like actually working for someone of darker skin tone than mine. But then again, I don't know because I haven't seen it like magically color match to someone. So I don't really know, but I will say that I absolutely fell in love with this. It's very, very lightweight. It feels so nice on the skin. I feel like it gives pretty great coverage for not being like a foundation. It just made my skin look good. So I loved using it, especially in the summer. And so this became truly a favorite of mine. And then with that is the honorable mention. And again, this is a favorite of mine, but because I haven't been using it a ton lately, I've been having other favorite foundations to use. I feel like I don't know if I qualify it for like being in the top 5 of my favorites, so it's an honorable mention favorite. And this is the Your Skin But Better CC Plus, full coverage correcting cream. So many people love this foundation, and it's for good reasons. It's a good foundation. I'm almost out of this one. I'm like to like here on it, and I actually do have a backup of this. For those who don't know, I don't know if I mentioned this already, I am on the Cosmetics PR list, but I do still purchase some products on my own that I don't receive. But a lot of the times they do send me several of these, so I often get backups from them and in other shades aside from my own. So I'm gifted the other shades to my friends and family who are those shades, and they love it. It's just a really good foundation or color corrector. It's something that is, again, a product that is lightweight, but the coverage it gives is insanely amazing. One thing that I feel like kind of bothered me a little bit about this, and might bother some people, is that it doesn't necessarily set. Like, it doesn't ever really fully dry down. If you were to put it on your face and just leave it like that and not put anything else, no setting powder or anything like that, it would never fully dry down. It would stay somewhat kind of like dewy, and it looks pretty, but it needs to be set, and it has to be set carefully. So there used to be a time when I would set my face with a brush and a pressed powder, and if you were to do that with this product, it would totally mess up because it's not fully set. Or it doesn't fully dry down. So what I like to do when I use this is apply it with a sponge or a brush, and then set it with a loose powder and a damp beauty sponge, and just press the powder into your skin and set it that way, and then it'll set fully and kind of go more matte and you can touch your face. Otherwise, before, if you touch your face, you would touch the foundation, and that can be kind of a pain. But aside from that, if you set it correctly, oh, it is just lovely. And one thing I would say is that I'm not a makeup artist. I will say this. I've said it before. I'm not a makeup artist, but I have done makeup for other people. I've done it for fun. I've done it for different events or whatever. People ask me to do it for prom or weddings or just for fun. My daughter will have friends over and I'll do their makeup and stuff like that. And because I have in the past been sent several of the other shades in the collection and mini sample versions as well, I've kept the sample versions and I will use those anytime I do someone else's makeup. That's the foundation I use because it just looks amazing on everyone from ages teenagers up until adults, women older than me. So I think it's just a fabulous foundation and just definitely a favorite worth mentioning. Okay, up next is something that shouldn't be a surprise to you guys just because I'm a lip balm and a lip gloss junkie. You guys know this. I say this all the time, but these are two of my very favorite products from It Cosmetics. This is their, and I'm seriously, let me roll it up just so you guys can see it. It's like, it's gone. It's all gone. So I'm gonna have to get another one. But this is the Your Perfect Pink. Basically, it's like a clear balm, but it kind of adheres to your pH balance or something, and then turns the perfect pink for you. It smells great. It's like a light cherry scent in my opinion, and it feels so nice on the skin or on your lips. It makes your lips feel really nice, very moisturized. I really, really love it. It is an expensive lip balm, but let me just tell you, I got this 2 years ago and I'm just now running out of it. So I feel like that's a really good buy. It's also in a very sturdy, like you could hear it click. It's got a magnetic closure. So I keep this in my purse. I actually brought my purse here because I do keep this in my purse. It's one of my things in my makeup bag in my purse that I keep. I love it. Definitely need to buy a new one because I'm out. I still keep it in there because there's a little bit I can get out. And then I also have this lip gloss. I can't remember what it's called. It's, oh, their Vitality Gloss Stain. Again, this is the Je ne sais quoi, Your Perfect Pink color. I do believe they have other shades, but this is one that I was sent and I actually really, really love it. It's like this light pink gloss, but once you apply it to the lips, let me actually apply it to my lips and see if it changes as we go. It does get darker, I noticed. Anyways, this has a yummy scent. It has like a white chocolate yummy scent or a vanilla scent that is so, so yummy. But anyways, as you apply it to your lips, it starts to turn like a darker pink, your perfect shade of pink, and I really love this gloss. One of my favorites. Oh, also I should mention, like, the doe fit on it is really neat. It kind of curves downwards, so it kind of like fits your shape of your lip really well, and it's just a really, really great gloss. I really, really love it. It's not too sticky. It just makes your lips feel moisturized. It's really good. Recommend their lip glosses and lip balms. I know they're expensive, but they're so worth it. All right, so the next item that is a favorite is, and it's a little bit broken, but this is the, oh my gosh, I can't, it's like so worn off. This Sunshine, I believe Sunshine in the compact, oh yeah, it says it back here, in the shade Warmth. So I did break it. I was using it a ton. I ended up dropping it and I broke it. But as you can see, I hit pan on this, especially during the summer is when I was using this the most, because it is a bronzer that is a pretty warmer tone, kind of a little bit leans orange, but in the summer I can get away with that as my bronzer and contour. So I was using this so much. I love it that it's a matte bronzer. It's not shimmery, so I feel like you can wear it as contour if you could get away with it, if your skin tone goes with it. It's huge, as you can see, and I've hit pan, but I still have so much to go in it. It's just, I love it. This was like my go-to forever, and once summer rolls around again, I'm sure I'll probably bust it back out again, because right now it's just I'm a little bit too fair to wear it, to use it as a contour, so it's a little too orange for me, but I love this. I really, it's a favorite. And then honorable mention, this would be outside of the top 5, but still I think worth mentioning, is their You Sculpted contouring palette. I'm going to open it up just because there's a mirror in here and you guys can see just how much I've used it. There's not I haven't hit pan on anything, but you could just see the use of it, and if I were to zoom you in, you'd see how much I've used of these. I think the quality of it is just like, they're just very creamy. Actually, it feels like very similar to the softness and creaminess of the brow powder. So maybe it's a similar formula, but it's so good, so creamy, blends super well and flawless on the skin. I love that they have such a variety of shades. Like here's a very, as you can tell, very light contour shade. I've used that a few times because this is something I also used when I would do makeup on somebody else. So it's got a very light one, another light one that's a little bit more warm tone. That one's more cool tone and neutral. And then another warm medium one, and then a deeper contour. Plus a matte highlight, which I love. I love when contour kits or contour palettes have a matte highlight included. That's really good. And then they have their Radiance highlight, which is the shimmer highlight, which I actually didn't use a ton because I have other shimmer highlights that I prefer more than this one. But this is a really great palette if you're looking for a contour palette that has a variety for you to use. And I will say, like, I think this is their newer updated contour palette because they had one before this that I had received, I think in PR. And I didn't like it. I feel like the formula on this one is definitely better. It's definitely different. I can't remember what the other one looked like, but it almost looked kind of like with this girl on it. And it was more of a palette that opened this way. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I decluttered it so I don't have it to show you guys. But when I got this, I was a little bit skeptical about it. Like, if it's like the other one, I'm probably not going to like it. But I actually did end up really loving it, getting a lot of use out of it. So that's my honorable mention. Next up is another product that is, I feel like kind of an honorable mention, but kind of in my top 5 as well. I can't remember. I kind of put my top 5s together and then I don't know, lost track. But these are the cosmetics brushes. And I think Katie said the same thing, that they were like kind of an honorable mention as well. I usually am not someone who, and sorry, they're so dirty, clearly I use them, who is all for buying super expensive brushes. I say this every time I talk about the It Cosmetics brushes because it's just true. I use more affordable brushes from Real Techniques, from Beauty Junkies, who is a brand I love. I love their brushes. They're so affordable and so good. But truth be told, if I didn't receive these for PR, I probably never would have tried them, but I'm glad that I did because I love these brushes. They are my go-to. This one especially, it's their number 5 all over dual eyeshadow brush. You guys have seen me use this a ton in many of my videos. Anytime I do my brows, this is the brush I use. I use it to clean up the concealer with this little fluffy part, and then it's got this more precise one that I kind of clean up the angles of my brows with. I love it. And then this is another one they use all the time. This is the flat one, and it is their Heavenly Luxe Flat Top Buffing Foundation brush number 6. And you've probably seen me use this a lot of times too. I use this whenever I use cream foundation. So mainly I use this with my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation stick. It is just the best. I love it so much. It's just perfect with that foundation, and so I use this all the time. And then this is one that I would use. You don't have to use it, but I just like it, and the way it works with this, I use that with this fluid, beauty fluid, and so it's really nice. I also use this beauty fluid with like a flat foundation brush, and I feel like that works really nice too. And since I brought my purse here, you can see actually that in my bag, my makeup bag, I also keep this brush, which is a really great brush. It's their number 7 brush, and it's dual-ended. It's kind of got like a concealer or eyeshadow brush on one end, and then this like a rounded kabuki foundation brush on the other. And I just kind of carry this with me, and actually carry this It Cosmetics powder, which isn't in this video as my top favorite, because I'll go off on a little tangent for a minute. I really like the It Cosmetics powders, but if you're not careful, they will give you cake face. You have to be very sparingly and apply it just so to not get cake face with their powders, which is in a way good because the coverage is there. It gives good coverage, but it gets cakey. So, but I do keep this in my purse just for like quick touch-ups if I want to just like really quick like touch up my face. I know this is going to give me coverage and, you know, do for like a short amount of time. So I keep those two in my purse, but love this brush as well. All right, and then the last products are, I'm kind of combining them together even though they're kind of different things, but these are kind of like honorable mention favorites. And these are these from the Superhero line. It's the Superhero mascara and then the Superhero liner. I know I have done a couple videos, or at least one for sure, videos using this mascara. When I first tried it and was using it, I fell in love with this mascara. This is an old one. I need to throw it away, but I don't know why. I still have it. It's kind of gloopy, but I'm kind of glad I still had it just so I could show you guys. But the wand is nothing fancy. It's kind of like just like a straight up and kind of comes to a point a little bit. So when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this doesn't look like it'd be anything great. But when I used it, I was like, oh, it is so good. And it's just a really great mascara. I love the way it made my lashes look just built up and just gave me amazing looking lashes. I will say that I noticed after, not initially when I first started using it, but maybe after like 3 months in, it would start to flake. And that's something I heard other people talk about and mention, that like they put it on and then like before, you know, an hour passed, they would have like mascara flakes all over their face and they hated it. So I didn't experience that until like about 3 months into the mascara. So I still really love it. It's still like the way it makes my mascaras look, or the way it makes my eyelashes look, is amazing. It is a mascara that I've used and will continue to use. But yeah, there is a disclaimer, it might give you some kind of like fallout or flakiness, which is kind of a bummer, but I still think it's an amazing mascara. And then the superhero liner, I feel like this is more of an honorable mention too, because I don't use a lot of liners. I don't do wing liner a lot. And so I feel like I don't feel qualified to give this like a full really amazing review or anything like that. But what I can say is when I use it, I really love this. It is a felt tip pen liner, but I feel like, oh my gosh, it's not too, some felt tips are just too stiff. You can't get them to move, and this one moves a little bit with you. So I feel like when you do your liner, it just makes it so, I said it just makes it so easy, and the pigmentation on it is really great. I just find it really easy to use, and for someone, I feel like that does say a lot for someone who is not used to using liquid liner or felt tip liners. It says a lot that this is really easy to use and really good. So I felt like I needed to mention it as an honorable mention favorite, because when I use it, I'm always impressed and I'm always happy with the results I get with it. So that gets an honorable mention and a favorite in my video here. So that wraps it up for my top 10 favorite products from IT Cosmetics. I really hope you found this video enjoyable and helpful and informative for making choices on products to purchase from IT Cosmetics. I'd love to know if any of your favorites were in here or any favorites that I didn't mention. Let me know your favorites, leave them in a comment, and I would love to discuss more. Also, let me know what other brands you'd like to hear me share my favorites on as well. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes.